Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Muse Jester. My name is Junior. Today, I want to talk about this character, Slingshot, from the Aerial Bots. Now, you might be wondering why I'm going back and talking about this figure again when I've already done a review of him. Well, during that review, I mentioned that this particular figure had a very, very strong nostalgic pull for me because as long as I can remember, this was the very, very first Transformer figure that I ever bought. I bought it for myself, and I saved up for it, and I went and searched for it, and it was the very first of the aerial bots that I gotten. Subsequently, afterwards, I went back to get the rest of the figures, the rest of the combiners once I had set up. But I got this, I believe, when I was maybe, I'm gonna say 11 or 12, um, and I went shopping for it as in back in the Philippines, in this kind of hard to find store that was a ways off from my house. So this character holds a special place in my heart. So and opening up for this review, even though I don't like certain aspects of it, it reminded me um, that it there's something missing in my collection. Now I collect Transformers, but I also collect the masterpiece versions. I have a bunch of them from the Autobots to the Decepticons. I have one combiner masterpiece scaled version, which is the Menasor from X Transbots. But I've really, really wanted to get the masterpiece version of the Aerial Bots, if anything else, because like I said, this figure, that combiner, has a special place in my collecting heart. But I was waiting around. Fast Toys was coming out and everything, but it ended up being like over $1,000. That's crazy, $1,000 for a combiner. And I knew Zeta Toys had made some. There's been reviews out there that were mixed bags on the Zeta Toys version, um, but I wasn't satisfied with the price that was being offered at the time. And when it was at the price that I wanted, which is around 360 to 380, I think I was either busy with something else, or actually 360 was offered with the clear version, so I didn't really go for it. But I'm babbling on. The reason I'm talking about that is this really, really sparked um, a desire within me to look up the Superion again and look at the things that I wanted in a toy. And this is really, I also want to talk about how impulsive I can be when it comes to buying stuff. Like, I'll just get that thought in my head and I won't let go of it. And it would seem like that, but in reality, the idea of purchasing the masterpiece scaled version of Airbots has always been in the back of my mind. I'm just waiting for the right time and everything. So, well, the right time ended up being the same day that I reviewed this, and I got. Let me just pan. And I ended up getting this. This is the Zeta Toys Superitron, the metallic version. But before I purchased it, I looked really hard and long between the comparison between this and Fans Toys. Now, I know that I will be displaying this in its combiner mode, this mode, and in this mode, this is a solid piece. I've looked at the reviews on this one, and in the jet mode, they're also very, very solid. There's a few uh, things going on. I don't know. I'll look it up now and see how badly I made the decision. But I could not fork out $1,000 for the Fans Toys version, however superior it might be to this one, because this cost me 400 and I think $470. The original price, I believe, was around 465. So it's not a bad increase in inflation. Too bad though, there's somebody in Facebook Marketplace right now selling off his X Transport Menasor, and I just happened to reach out and ask him. It's like, hey, if you I see you're selling a lot of your combiners, because because he was also selling Bruticus from Zeta Toys. I said, like, if you had the Zeta Toys of Aerobots, I'm interested in that. And he said that he just sold it, which is crazy and lucky for me because he was selling his Bruticus Combaticon Zeta Toys, the partner of this one, for $400. So it's possible I could have gotten this for $400. I just wasn't quick enough or I didn't know about it. So anyway, um, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one yet. I don't know if I'm gonna do a full review. There are a lot of good reviews out there. I think what I will do right now is I'll do a quick unboxing to show you guys what's in the box, how it's kind of put in here. This is the first time I'm actually seeing this as well. I'm supposed to have purchased the metallic version of this one. So, which is a good thing because when this first came out, I believe it was hardly painted. So this is, from what I've seen, is the best version of this particular release. So really hoping it turns out that way. This might be a used product. I don't know. I don't really care if it is used or not. I got it from TF Source. I bought stuff from them very occasionally, and I've been satisfied with their product or their delivery service. But for the price that I got, it's barely above retail, so I was pretty happy with it. And I've been thinking about this a long time. I'm just finally glad I got it because I am getting the Magic Square Bruticus. So, and I couldn't wait for them to do the aerial bots anyway. So here is the aerial bots as they are being presented. I believe this is Air Raid, which I've done a review on. From Age of the Primes. I'm gonna say this though, holding it's kind of disappointing. This is I believe an 8-year-old mold. I can't remember now. Because it feels so light, but I don't really care about the lightness of it. It doesn't, the die-cast stuff in toys or robots, at least for the Transformers, doesn't really matter to me. And then this one, I believe that's not loose. I think it's just not pegged in. Now, having said the fact that I don't care about diecast, and yet, like, the first instinct is like, man, this kind of feels light. You know, I'm not lying. I don't really care about diecast. It just does feel light. But yeah, I'll okay as I adjust to it. So I think most of the complaints were a lot of these loose panels going on, but I'm pretty sure this is not transformed properly. I'm gonna look and see. So that's Air Raid. This character, I can't remember, is Air Raid, Silverboard, Slingshot. This one looks like it's Farflight. So yeah, I can see now a lot of stuff aren't really pegged in properly. So that's kind of good. This is also one part of the cable. So you can actually remove these. I'm not sure if it goes this way or this way. So these are the legs or part of the wings. But the option is being able to remove it if you don't like this much of a cable going on. That's kind of interesting though. It is loose. Very loose in this socket. Look at how loose that is. It does have a metallic sheen on the surface though. What the heck is wrong with that face? He's like grinning, smiling. He's actually taller than I expected. The individual bots. And then these are basically, so this particular Zeta Toys, some people might not like it, having to use this big piece to combine the whole um, the 5 robots instead of relying on the transformation itself. I'm okay with it because I wanted to maintain the look of the big robot itself, which is Superion, because that's what I wanted to display. Anyway, this is die cast, by the way, solid metal. So I'm okay with this strategy. In fact, Fan Stores obviously is because they did the same. They're doing the same thing. And holy crap, this is metal as well too. So these are 2 large feet. It comes with it. I just recently saw the review of this old one from TM Reviews. So as I was doing my research on whether I was gonna pull the trigger or not on this, so yeah. And then these are the 2 heads. I will say though, the Fans Toys version of these heads, the beautifully chrome metallic gold is very, very impressive. But the distinction between Fans Toys and this one, not only does this light up, but apparently it also has sound chips inside it. So it talks. Quite an amazing feature for an old product and for something that's $400 cheaper than what's presently presented by Fans Toys. Yeah, as you can see with this one where his head is like kind of bowed down, you can see that it's very loosely transformed. A lot of stuff and everything. I'm really hoping that all these issues can be resolved by making sure everything's properly tabbed in. And the look of this one, I would have to say the best look is the combiner. The second best look is the planes, and then the robots individual are suffered greatly. But like I said, I won't be displaying this as individual robots or in plane mode. It'll be as a combiner. I think he's gonna topple over. And this is, wait, is this air raid? No, this is Firefly. No, this is Silver Streak. Skydive. This is Skydive. This is Skydive. Man, this is. I'm gonna have to look at the comparisons again made by TM Reviews. I could have sworn this wasn't that bad when he was comparing it to the Fans Toys version, but there's something off about this head. Let me see. Oh, I'm wrong. This is actually Slingshot over here because of the yellow face. Yeah. This is my favorite toy. Or my favorite figure. I didn't even recognize him. This is the gun that came with it. You can combine it with this one. I believe these are the hands. Yes, very large hands. Very stiff too. This one as well. I'm just inspecting it mostly just to make sure everything's nice and complete. These are their missiles and individual guns, I believe. Yes. There's a bunch of them over here. It's actually a deep pocket. Finally, Silverbolt. Silverbolt, if I remember correctly, when I was playing with this, it's a lot of loose things going on. When I first bought my Aerobots, Slingshot stood out, and then Silverbolt stood out as well. Boy, this guy is tall, taller than Optimus Prime Masterpiece scale. The weight is a factor in that it's kind of surprising how light they are. But looking at it though, it's just looks pretty good. I think he's the best of all the robots because he doesn't have the cable on the wings over here. But then his cable comes from all the way out here. But this looks familiar to me. And I thought that was broken, but apparently that's only goes down. Okay. Looks good. Some die cast pieces just to make sure for strength and everything. And that's it. That's it for my unboxing of this particular robot set. I can't decide if I'm going to do a review on these or not because, like I said, I'm really not that good with Transformers and everything. And this is a lot more of a complicated transformation that I don't want to do on camera. I advise you guys to again look up two other reviewers that do this thing, TM Reviews. He does really good job and he does a lot of comparison. My main favorite or my most favorite reviewer is MGO315. He was the one who's always so humorous and funny, and then he was the first one who did comparisons before. But now TM Reviews is doing this more comprehensive comparison where he was comparing, and he helped me a lot in my decision. He was comparing the Fans Toys version of the Aeroboss to the Zeta Toys version of the Aeroboss, which is the only other comparison out there. And he was pointing out a lot of things and everything. So check those two channels out. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again on my next review. Bye.